And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to helping you win in any marketplace. That's our goal as your number one consumer advocate here in the Tampa Bay market and the Gulf Coast region of Florida. Is the same goal. It's going to be to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage with you so that we can help you win. You can reach out multiple ways, 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline, 813-670-REQB. And we would love to connect with you there. And you can also check us out online, consumerqb.com. Connect with us online at consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors, 80-plus show partners and categories where it's all about helping you understand more about your buying decisions, helping you avoid commission-based advice. And we're going to make you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got an all-star lineup here in studio. William Crowley back in studio, a.k.a. the Credit Magician.
Yo, yo, yo. And what am I in the hood?
The Credit Man in the
Credit
Hood.
Man in the Hood, baby.
There he goes. So
Yeah,
credit restoration is his game, raising your score, raiseourscore.com.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about this Capital One data breach. I see we got a lot of information laid out here. And then also I want to go into this lawsuit against FES. It's a multi-level marketing credit repair company.
Wow.
And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But most importantly, we want to talk about how the consumer needs to become more proactive and protect their information from these data breaches, because there's always going to be data breaches. Always.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah, it's crazy how we have so many data breaches nowadays. It's unbelievable. So we've got William Crowley in the house. Johnny Miller back in studio. Thanks for coming in,
Thanks
sir.
for having me.
Yeah, man. So Eagle LED global lighting. Yeah,
That's correct. Today I want to kind of touch on, everybody knows that we save a lot of money with using LED lighting. I kind of want to touch on the other benefits that LED lighting provides our customers.
Yeah, I like that. Working with, everything from airports to big industrial warehouses.
Exactly.
Yeah, across the country. And your job is you're managing about 400 other reps, right?
400 plus nationwide.
Wow.
We're growing. We grow every day. We add new reps every day. I'd have 1,000 if I could have them.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Good stuff. And we got Stephanie Rosario in studio. Welcome in.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. And you're representing Frank Charles Miranda Law, and you are a title agent over at his office. Welcome
yes,
in.
I am.
Yeah.
And I'd like to just talk about a little bit the benefits of doing your closings on your real estate transactions with an attorney rather than at your ordinary title company.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know we talked to Frank before, and one of the first meetings I had with Frank, he said, he told an interesting story. He had someone that wanted to try to pull out of a deal on the day of closing and pulling all these last minute, I want a better price. And he said, we're not going to do that at the table. You're either signing with us now, and so that's when you have an attorney telling you, here's what you have to do, or you're walking out.
Yeah, it's definitely a benefit. I mean, he wouldn't let that happen. So
yeah, that's awesome. And we enjoy having Frank on the show. It's nice to have you in studio as well, Stephanie.
Thank you.
And it's all about helping you as a consumer advocate, helping you understand more about your buying decisions. This segment is brought to you by the Lucky Dill Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, the Lucky Dill Restaurant. You like Lucky Dill?
Well, I love it, baby.
Tell me about it. What do you like about it?
They knew what I wanted. Remember, I couldn't even think. I couldn't remember what I wanted, and the lady told me exactly what I ordered, like 3 or 4 a month prior to coming there, man. I was impressed. I was impressed.
Yeah, it's great staff, and it's home of the sandwich that ate Brooklyn. Excellent food, deli, New York City bar, Brooklyn bakery, catering, banquets, and much more. 4606 West Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa, right across from the mall here on Boy Scout. LuckyDillDeli.com. Online at LuckyDillDeli.com. And a couple of hot listings, or at least one big listing here I want to let you know about. I just listed this property, $2.5 million listing at Boy Scout Road and Burrell Road. This is a property that is just a gorgeous opportunity. Now, what we're looking for at 18150 Burrell Road in Odessa, we're looking for buyers that want to live in a beautiful McMansion estate-style home. This is 5-acre lots right on the waterfront of Boy Scout Road and Burrell Road. So this picture here is just gorgeous. You look at that, that's Florida living at its best. That right there, you're on a lake, waterfront, and you've got 5-acre home site, just a gorgeous property to call home and build your dream home. Now, this is particularly for these equestrian style folks out there, the horse lovers out there, people that are into polo, rodeo, barrel racing, English saddle, whatever type of rodeo you like, and having that estate style home site is available. $2.4 million for both parcels of land. Great opportunity. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, let's jump right into it. We got William Crowley, the credit magician, here in the studio. We've got decades of experience when it comes to, helping folks with their credit, with their identity. And here we go again. Capital One target of massive data breach. A hacker gained access to personal information for more than 100 million Capital One credit applications, the bank said on Monday, as federal authorities arrested a suspect in the case.
Yeah, I always like to say that some of these data breaches are orchestrated. I know it's kind of against the grain, but we talking street knowledge here, okay? So like you said, street smart. I really believe a lot of these. It's hard to believe that this one lady could amass all this information by herself, without any type of inside help. But whether she did or she didn't, there's always going to be breaches, okay? And I say that the biggest perpetrator of so-called identity theft and even these breaches are the credit reporting agencies themselves, kind of not adhering to the laws of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, even like this newly formed thing of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB. Yeah, but that came as a result of the meltdown, the dissolution of the Glass-Steagall Act.
Glass-Steagall, yes.
So if Glass-Steagall was in place, we would probably have more safeguard to the system than the CFPB does. Okay.
Wow.
But the point is that ultimately, who's affected by this? The consumer. We are. So if we don't become proactive and familiarize ourselves with these laws, the the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, even looking at the FTC, because the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission website, will list all of these type of lawsuits that are pending or that have been finalized. You can follow that, and if you go there, you'll see all kinds of lawsuits against each credit reporting agency, against the companies out there, major companies, credit what's it called?
Bureaus?
No, not the credit bureaus, but the credit issuing companies.
Repository?
The credit issuing company like
Transperian.
Not Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, but I'm at a loss of words here, but Visa, MasterCard, all the major companies like that.
Yeah.
They're all being sued for some type of data breaches all along the way, and some of this stuff don't even make it to the news.
Yeah.
So, but if the consumer if we would familiarize ourselves with these laws, and we can hold these agencies accountable by using the Federal Trade Commission, because the Federal Trade Commission is the watchdog for the industry. Anytime a consumer our rights are violated, we go right to the Federal Trade Commission, and the Federal Trade Commission, being the watchdog for the industry, goes after them. So what most of us as consumers need to do is put a promotional block on our credit report. That's the first step, okay? Capital One with this breach, like I say, it's hard to believe it's just one person. If it's one person or a million people involved, we should be proactive enough to say, okay, these things are going to happen. They always are going to happen. Put a promotional block on your credit report. That lessens your visibility. The credit reporting agencies sell your name to anybody. And so this lady could have just bought our names from the credit reporting agency as well, along with that information.
But not the Social Security number.
Not Social Security number per se, but they can get enough information where they won't even need your Social Security number. If I can get your credit profile, that's sufficient enough, because that's what they use, the Social Security number, to get to the credit profile. But if I got somebody selling me the credit profile, I don't need the Social Security number. I've got the credit profile. And so that's what a lot of these. So I tell people, and I get a lot of blowback on this, but the credit reporting agencies are the biggest perpetrators of identity theft and these type of fiascos that happen on the market. So we need to safeguard our own credit reports by familiarizing ourselves with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, Glass-Steagall, which is out of business now, so the CFPB, Uniform Commercial Code, even the Constitution. We need to know. We need to know our rights as consumers, so that and just anticipate that this type of stuff's going to happen. So now there's another deal going on with the FES lawsuit, which probably is not going to make the news like this Capital One breach. But FES is a multi-level credit repair company out there. I used to be part of ICR, which is a predecessor of FES, okay? FES, Financial Education Services. ICR was International Credit Repair. They started around the 80s, worked their way up through the 90s, then they went through a lawsuit, a series of smaller lawsuits, and then the whammy hit them. And I believe that that's the same thing that's going to happen to FES, because what happens with FES is you have a lot of reps out there that aren't familiar with credit repair. They just out there marketing the services for the company.
Right.
But the company doesn't take them through any type of intense training, studying the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Most of them don't know anything about it. And when I called a few reps even before coming on the show today to ask them, what do you know about this lawsuit? And most of them didn't even know about the lawsuit. Yeah. And they represent the company. Yeah. So it's my competition, so it's imperative that I know what my competition is up to.
Sure.
But I'm credit restoration assistance versus the traditional credit repair companies. And I've had a huge problem with credit repair companies because of their practices. And they keep everything, nothing's transparent. So with the credit restoration assistance, I learned from ICR, and that's how I opened my company called National Credit Restoration Assistance. So what we're doing is we're assisting the client. Everything is transparent. We give the client everything, where traditional credit repair companies don't give the client anything. Okay, they mail it off for them, and the client is totally in the dark as to what's going on. So we want them to see the laws that we're using, and when something is removed from the credit report, then we say, hey, there's the law. You can use it, and the next time this mishap occurs, you have the information available. You don't have to even come back to me. You can use it yourself. But I always encourage people, look, you can do the credit repair yourself. Most people just don't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so they come to us, and we say, okay, here's what differentiates us from your traditional credit repair companies.
Nice.
We're credit restoration assistants, and everything is transparent.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
I love it.
Yeah.
So,
you got these big companies like this taking bailout money. They took the our government money, our bailout money, taxpayer money, and then they're not utilizing the right systems to keep from all these Social Security numbers, databases with 100 million credit application. I mean, come on, they've got to be held to the fire on this.
People that just inquired too, not even people that hold accounts, people that just inquired. They
an application.
Application.
That's ridiculous. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, stay with us right here. When we come back, more from our expert contributors in studio: William Crowley, Johnny Miller, Stephanie Rosario here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and our feel-good story of the day: 6-year-old opens a lemonade stand to take mom on a date after his dad dies. So stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Check us out online at platinummvpteam.com. Always want to help you win, helping our sellers invest, buy, and sell with confidence. We're helping them in ways that other real estate companies can't with our daily show here, where we feature real estate properties live on air on the program. And I've got a hot property here that I want to let you know about here. 11540 Shipwatch Drive in Largo, unit number 1391. This is a great opportunity. It's a second-story condo, so you've got no flood insurance needed or required here. Offered at $250,000. Community features: 2 clubhouses, marina with dry docks, tennis courts, library, pro shop, massage therapist on site, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, end unit, lakefront views, beautiful property. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.com. And this segment is brought to you by the Bill Maher Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bill Maher Beach Resort on beautiful Treasure Island, Florida, right on Gulf Boulevard. And it's filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. The Bill Maher Beach Resort has been one of the most sought-after destinations in the Treasure Island area for years. And whether you're planning a quick business trip that adds a little beachside pleasure to family weekends on long weekend getaways, every guest here has full access to our vast list of amenities. Great opportunity. Check them out. Sloppy Joe's Restaurant and Beach Bar right there on site. Great place to go hang out on the weekends. Check them out at the Consumer Quarterback Show pages and reach out to them online. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Book direct at Bill Maher Beach Resort, and you'll see them right there online. All right, so we've got an all-star lineup here in studio today. We've got William Crowley in the house, Johnny Miller, Stephanie Rosario as well, representing Frank Charles Miranda Law. So now we're going to go to Johnny. We're going to switch it up and talk with E-Gold Global Lighting here, Johnny Miller in studio. So yeah, it's much more than just the savings. I mean, that's the hot button when you talk to them.
Right.
But there's so many ancillary benefits, I think, that they don't understand.
We do, and the first thing really that comes to my mind is the visibility aspect, and I'll use, say, a car dealership as an example. When you ride, if you're riding along at night, you can certainly tell what dealerships have LED and which dealerships don't. Under most of that lighting, you can't even tell what the true color of the car is when you've got a yellow light. So, and two, being in Florida, we all know it's much better to shop for cars at night than it is in the daytime.
Right. Yeah.
So, the LED lighting, of course, brings that visibility and gets heads turning when a customer's riding by a dealership. Oh, it's nice and bright out there. Let's go take a look. Safety, I think, is one a lot of people don't think about, but it's become a kind of the new slip and fall thing with not having enough lighting in a parking lot or on a property, as say a mall parking lot, or people trip, fall over a curb. The ownership could be liable. Property management may even be liable. And then obviously, coming in on the end of that is the security part of it. Same thing. You could be liable if somebody's attacked or somebody is, accosted in your parking lot. Same kind of thing. We're starting to hear those commercials, like car wreck commercials now. If where you own someone's property, and obviously the customer can be, or the property owner can be liable. So.
Yeah, outside of bars, I've heard that as well. We've had, Jason Coble is one of our attorneys here on the show. He talks about, sometimes outside of bars there's fights and there wasn't reasonable enough security to stop the fight within a reasonable amount of time. So same thing when it comes to lighting. If there's not enough light, that attracts that criminal element.
It does, and trust me, we're a lot less expensive than armed security.
Yeah, or
I promise you.
Or
that.
A lawsuit, right?
Right, or a lawsuit, absolutely. So. Yeah, it's just when we help a customer with those kind of problems that they have, we almost 100% of the time can guarantee that we can solve their problems when it comes to their exterior lighting and their.
Yeah, that's awesome. And who's a prime candidate for you? We talk about industrial warehouse, airports, all types of companies.
We've done hundreds of car dealerships. We do a lot of Harley Davidson stuff. They love the way that our lights. It's considered pure daylight. So when you see the paint on those bikes underneath that light, it's like being out in the sun and seeing them at its best. The industrial commercial warehouses. We recently did a warehouse that had no lighting whatsoever, and it looks like night. It's different as night and day, obviously.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that the industry as a whole it's interesting. I think it's one of those that people are more and more accepting or understanding of how it can affect them. Even here as we sit here in the studio, these types of lights with a long exposure to it gives me a headache.
Yep, headaches. They've done studies that workplace productivity actually goes up about 20% under LED lighting versus your normal fluorescent. The headaches tend to stop. Test scores raise in schools. Just studies along the way, third-party studies, not the people in the industry like ourselves. The third-party studies have shown that the lighting upgrade actually changes everything. Less sick days.
Yeah,
all of that comes about.
Yeah, that's a whole nother area with schools. Public schools. Just the safety element comes to mind. And then just raising the scores. I mean, that's a big part of it. That I think if you just joined us, Brandon Rhymes here. We're talking with Johnny Miller, Eagled Global Lighting here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Did you have a comment, William?
Well, how much money can you actually save? What's the average?
The average on, say, a dealership lighting, and I'll give you an example. We have a dealership in West Virginia. They went from about $10,000 a month down to a little less than $3,000 a month.
Wow!
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On the lighting cost itself.
Just on the cost.
Wow.
Just on the cost, and they had a little over 1 year return on investment. So when you look at those numbers and you're saying, okay, now first off, it's saving me $7,000 a month. When a year and a half, it's going to pay me $7,000 a month. These lights, it actually pays you back as a business owner, and that's strong.
And it's, if I understand it correctly, it's kind of like solar in a way where you can structure it as a lease.
We can. We do an equipment lease. So $1 buyout. We can do, on the smaller jobs, we do a 60-month lease. And 9 times out of 10, your savings on your energy bill pays that and puts money in your pocket. Wow. So it's a plus. Then, of course, the tax deductibility of an equipment lease makes it free twice.
Wow.
So you get them free by paying with your savings, and then you get them free again when you write them off. So it's for smart business owners, I have had people with a 1 year ROI say, we're just not interested, because they look at the number. But then it's the number that number actually disappears once they start saving.
And you know what I think it comes down to, and this happens in real estate sometimes, almost every business you see it, because one of my favorite topics is negotiation. And so when you're talking to a counterpart, it's not always that particular counterpart. It's the people behind the scenes who have to buy into the yes. Once to get the yes here, now you got to get this yes and this yes. And then it's also for those people that may be on a short-term contract that may be leaving to a competitor, or they're looking to show better numbers for the quarter end of Q2 or Q3.
Right.
They don't want to have that expense on their name because they just got reamed out for their last month or whatever, right? So there's all these things that happen in business, and you got to find out, what's the underlying motivation behind it.
Exactly. And that's what we do. We're problem solvers. We come into a situation and we ask first to the customer, how can we help you? What do you need? Do you not have the budget for what we need to do here? If you don't have the budget, then let's talk about the lease. If you've got the money in the budget, let's get started, obviously that way, because we love to take cash and checks too. But a lot of folks, the first thing you hear, especially from your bigger businesses, the warehouses, the manufacturers, say, hey, it's not in your budget. And usually our first answer to that is, it's in the budget, because you're already giving it to the energy company.
Right.
You could have a lighting upgrade, and you could get some money back on top of that. So
and so much more efficiency, and just the
efficiency is amazing.
You got all those other benefits with that. EAG-LED.com.
Right.
EAG-LED.com. Eagled Global Lighting. Johnny Miller, always a pleasure. More from Johnny coming up in our lightning round. And Stephanie Rosario coming up, as well as our feel-good story of the day. 6-year-old opens a lemonade stand to take mom on a date after his dad dies. Stay with us on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Published author and professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon. Become the MVP in your industry by surfing the radio waves. We'd love to, have you check out a copy of that book, teaching you how to grow your celebrity, grow your sphere of influence. And we partnered up with Ken Shamrock and Des Woodruff on our company called the Business Growth Celebrity Academy, where we're teaching entrepreneurs how to grow their celebrity and they can realize the celebrity in you. The Business Growth Celebrity Academy helps you become a micro celebrity to grow wealth Build personal brand and increase status. Anyone can become a micro celebrity. It's easy. And we teach you how to do it on our website, bgca.co, the Business Growth Celebrity Academy, bgca.co. We got daily webinars there running, so I'd love for you to check it out. Let us know what you think about it. Give us some feedback on that. And this segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Brothers Easy Moving. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that they are a first-class organization. They do a great job. They handled my family's move to our lake house, and they are among the best reviewed movers online. They've got a 4.6 rating on Google. They got a 4.5 rating on Yelp. A rating from the Better Business Bureau and Angie's List, and they've also won the Super Service Award multiple times. Check them out online, Brothers Easy Moving. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we got some great news. This week we talked about Tampa being tops of national list of best cities for first-time home buyers in 2019. Second year in a row, Tampa has that distinct honor of topping that list. So it's a great place to live, work, and play. We talk a lot about that. Our company is called Platinum MVP Team. .com, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, a top real estate company here in the Bay Area. All right, so we've got our expert contributors here in studio. William Crowley's in the house, Johnny Miller, and Stephanie Rosario. Now we're going to talk with Stephanie, and she's representing Frank Charles Miranda Law, FCMLaw.com. And title fraud is one of those things that's out there. Are you seeing title fraud at your office, or just kind of in the industry we're hearing about it?
Well, we haven't seen it at our office. We make sure, that anytime anyone is going to send over an escrow deposit for a wire, you've got to call and confirm our wiring instructions. Before we send wires out, we call and confirm wiring instructions as well. So no matter what, we try to tell the buyers, the agents, the real estate agents, please make sure, don't just send a wire over, because it's so easy for wire fraud to happen.
Yeah, and the way it's been explained to me is what they'll do is they'll utilize a common email address. They'll change one letter, like a C to an O, and buy that domain. So now it looks right off the top, it looks like it's Stephanie at Frank Charles Miranda Law.
Correct.
But they changed one letter in the FC. They changed the C to an O.
Right.
And now it's like, okay, here's an email. Well, she changed her instructions on us.
Right. And it looks like it's coming straight from, our law firm.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunately, there's hackers out there, and they get in, and everything looks like ours, our logo, everything.
Because you can grab that all easily online.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's interesting when you think about, insurances and the way it works. Title insurance is one of those that a lot of people complain about.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, why do I have to buy title insurance? Well, because you're insuring the past. When you buy health insurance, car insurance, etc., you're insuring the future.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Well, it's it's a benefit, for sure. It's a benefit.
Absolutely, gotta have it.
And you've got to have a title company to close at,
That's right.
when you're buying or selling. So
that's right.
You might as well come to a real estate attorney, and I feel personally that if you're doing closings, if a real estate agent, buying, selling, there's a more comfort level closing with an attorney's firm.
Yeah.
If there's ever any issues, you have an attorney right at your fingertips.
Yeah.
He's right there. So, we've got Frank Miranda in the office, obviously, and Lauren Frieder. So we've got two wonderful real estate attorneys. Any questions, they're right there. Right in the office.
Yeah.
So.
And the office is right on Cypress down the road, right?
Yes, it's right on
Tampa.
Cypress Street. Yep, right off of Dale Mabry. So it's local. We have a wonderful office. Frank just had it built about 2 years ago.
Beautiful office.
Yes, it is absolutely beautiful. Everybody that comes there loves it. So.
Yeah, it's a great design too. It's got the parking underneath, kind of below, and then you come up and it's just like a nice open space, offices along the sides.
Yeah.
And,
he really has got it. He did a great job with it. So.
Yeah.
We have another closer in the office as well, and she's been in the industry for over 40 years. So Patsy Gleason, she's been doing title closings for over 40 years now.
Nice.
So with herself and with myself, I've been doing closings for 23 years now.
Wow. Awesome.
So I've seen it all.
You have. You see, that's it. We always like to ask for the fun stories. Can you give us some fun stories? I think we talked about some mobile closings that you had.
Mobile, that's a good way to put it.
Right.
Yeah, that's the other benefit of closing at a law firm. You have your attorney that, if need be, you might have a seller that may be in, could
Say
be
it.
in jail.
There you go. There you go. She did it. She said it.
Yeah.
We just had that recently, so you have to have an attorney to be able to get to that person that is in jail.
Wow.
To get into the jail to have him sign or her
For a
sign.
visit?
Yeah.
For a nice visit.
You gotta schedule that visit, and but they've got to sign the deed. They've got to sign a warranty deed
Yeah.
and all the documents, because if they are an owner to that home, they've got to sign to sell it.
Yeah.
No matter where they're at. So
Right.
that's the other benefit of being able to close at an attorney's firm.
Mobile locations, mobile closings. Those are great, and it's convenient for the homeowner too. Sometimes I have elderly clients, and we work with them where we go. You'll actually close in their home and help them that way. And,
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of times, they don't want to drive. If they're in Clearwater or Pasco County, a lot of times older clients, as they don't want to drive.
Yeah.
So we will come to the house to close. Nursing homes, airports. I've done it all.
Cool.
Been everywhere. Side of the road.
Yeah.
At the Walgreens parking lot. You can sign papers anywhere.
Yeah.
So we can do closings anytime, anywhere. We're not that 9 to 5. If you can't be here at 4, we can't close you.
Mm-hmm.
So that helps out a lot too, because people have children.
Yeah.
After 5 o'clock, they have to take their kids to dance. Horseback riding lessons. Football, baseball. They don't have the time.
All
So
the above.
I mean, if you're the sitting at the baseball and you've got baseball practice,
Yeah.
we'll be there to sign your documents.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's
So we're talking, if you just joined us, Brandon Rhymes here. We're talking with Stephanie Rosario. She's a licensed title agent with Frank Charles Miranda Law, a local law firm and title closing company here in Tampa Bay. FCMLaw.com, FCMLaw.com. And a great office that they have and helping with the title side, the real estate side, and having real estate attorneys on staff comes into help play, make a smooth closing in a lot of cases. Any interesting success stories, or what's maybe like a common misnomer that people have when it comes to closings, or they're just not expecting? Is there anything that comes to mind when it comes to that? Like what the types of the types of deeds that they have, the statute warranty deed, or the different types of deeds. Sometimes they ask like,
yeah.
I'm sure
I mean,
what
we
the
usually
heck's-"
just use standard, the standard warranty deed.
Yeah.
Quit claim deeds are frowned upon with underwriters, so
Yeah.
a lot of times you can't get title insurance with that quit
What
claim
exactly
deed.
when they talk about a quit claim deed? What is that a valid use for? A brother giving it to a property to a sister or something like that?
Yes, it is. But at the same time, you can still use you can still do a warranty deed even for that type of thing. If the mother wants to give the property to the children, you don't have to do a quit claim deed.
Are they
And
just trying to avoid some cost? Is that why they want to do that quit claim deed?
It could be, but if with knowledge, you can avoid some cost, even doing the warranty deed,
Right.
which is better for you to do as a warranty deed than the quit claim deed.
Yeah.
But Frank's knowledge, if there's a question, of course he's there to answer any questions anybody has of what's better to do.
Yeah.
So, but
Awesome.
right now we do have a special promotion
Yeah.
for real estate agents. It's a transaction management, a transaction coordinator. As you know, Brandon, it takes hours to do paperwork for all of your real estate transactions.
Yes.
So we are offering a transaction coordinator for $100.
Wow, per file till close.
Per file till close. If the file does not close, you do not pay anything.
Wow.
So if anybody wants to reach out, get a hold of me, please do, because I can get everything set up for you with the real estate transaction coordinator.
Yeah.
We do have bilingual transaction coordinators as well.
That's a big plus.
Yes.
That's awesome. And that's a great offer, too. A lot of real estate agents listen to this show. So, reach out. FCMLaw.com is the website, FCMLaw.com. Stephanie Rosario, title agent here. And more from all of our expert contributors coming up right after this short break. We're going to jump into our lightning round. We're going to give some top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. And our feel-good story of the day is coming up next. 6-year-old opens a lemonade stand to take mom on a date after his dad dies. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at ConsumerQB.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, we're back here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate negotiations. I'm a certified negotiation expert, teaching negotiation now at GTAR and Pro. That's the Greater Tampa Realtor Association, as well as the Pinellas Realtor Organization. And we love to teach negotiation, also help our clients negotiate the best deals, buying, selling, or investing. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.com. Got a property up in Port Richey, 7519 Pier Road in Port Richey, just off of US 19. It's on the west side of US 19, in a great area. It's close to that the area that's really growing, and there's a lot of construction close to the river there. Commercial opportunity zone C1 has potential for condos, townhomes, The owner says it's also a great ideal spot for a car lot at 7519 Pier Road in Port Richey. Great opportunity. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. This segment is brought to you by WholeBodyFuel.com. Chef Brian Adamo and his team do a great job preparing and delivering convenient, healthy delivered meals by WholeBodyFuel.com. And they've got the world-famous protein donuts as well. Excellent food, and I really enjoy getting my delivery every week. And I carry that meal with me on my listing appointments or throughout the day. And it's a great opportunity to eat healthy when you're on the go. WholeBodyFuel.com, the official meal delivery service of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, every day we're going to tell you something positive here on our feel-good story of the day. We have a good one here. A 6-year-old opens a lemonade stand to take mom on a date after his dad dies. So a 6-year-old in Denver opened a lemonade stand to raise enough money to take his mother on a date after his father passed away. Brady Campbell's father passed away a few weeks ago after a battle with stage 4 colon cancer. And Brady said he and his dad came up with an idea for a lemonade stand to take my mom on a date because I didn't have enough money. I wanted to pay, so I did it, the 6-year-old told the news organization. The day after his father passed away, the 6-year-old followed through on his promise to take care of his mom. His neighbors and friends came by, and the crowd caught the attention of a Denver police officer who once heard of Brady's story. He put out a radio call to the other first responders. Fire trucks and police officers started rolling up. Brady raised $244 that day. All right. Cool story.
Oh, yeah.
So sweet.
All right, so now we're going to jump into our lightning round. We got some top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Let's start over here with William Crowley, the credit magician.
I always like to tell people for the credit restoration service that we provide that competes with the credit repair company that the information does belong to you. If it doesn't belong to you, then just file a police report because you're a victim of identity theft. If it does belong to you, then that's when you come to us because we're going after the credit reporting agencies for violation of due process. Remember, if the stuff belongs to you, then that's the good person to see because we go after anything from bankruptcy, tax liens, late payments, judgments, collections, inquiries, etc. Anything that's adversely affecting your credit can be legally removed. It may not all be removed, but we will be able to get a substantial amount if you follow the rules of the game.
Awesome. RaiseOurScore.com. That was a lot.
RaiseOurScore.com.
That was a lot, man. That was good.
All right.
All right, Johnny Miller, Eagle Global Lighting.
I'd just like to say that our reps nationwide are revolutionizing the industry with our no money down, no money out of pocket program, where folks that thought they couldn't afford an upgrade can see that their savings can pay for the upgrade, and then put some money in the bank on top of that, and get better lighting, more productive days, less headaches, better test scores, just all around benefit. With truly no money out of pocket, and then get to take advantage of the tax breaks too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And let's get green. Let's don't forget that. Let's get
that's
green.
Right.
Let's do something.
Out of all those
for the planet.
benefits we talked about, that's one that we really need to pass along to our children and
Absolutely.
our children's children. Taking care of planet Earth.
Absolutely.
Mother Earth. That's right. All right, Stephanie Rosario, Frank Charles Miranda Law, FCMLaw.com.
So I want to say the most important thing right now in real estate, definitely before you do any type of wire transfer, please call your title agent and confirm the wiring instructions.
Yes.
Do not do a wire transfer without confirming wiring instructions.
Important.
Too much fraud going on.
Yeah. I mean, how sad would that be to see, $285,000 or $455,000 going to the wrong account?
And it's gone.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
And it happens,
It happens, yeah.
And it's not like it's an FDIC federally insured bank account. I mean, it's not. It's nothing like that. I mean, that money's just gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do.
So common practice in the industry is to call the other recipient and verify it.
Absolutely. Always.
That's good.
Always do it. And there's people that are they're not doing it.
Wow.
I mean, somebody just wired, over $2 million to our account to purchase a home.
Wow.
And they did not call.
Wow. They just took the word for it.
It would have been
email for it.
Yeah. Just took the email. So
wow.
For sure, make that phone call. It takes 2 seconds to confirm wiring instructions.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. All right, so here, I got a top tip. One of my favorite stories I talk about is a gentleman by the name of Dr. Edward Banfield. So he was a Harvard professor. He conducted a 50-year study into the socioeconomic mobility of Americans and folks in other countries. And what he concluded at the end of this 50-year study the number one factor, what he aimed to find is what's the number one factor that creates success? How do some people come to this country born with nothing and end up making hundreds of millions of dollars, being a millionaire, and then how do others, come and born into wealth, and then, what happens with that first generation of wealth? Sometimes they get complacent, they don't follow through, they don't have that work ethic. So he wanted to know, what's the number one factor if I were to set out and create a success strategy? What's the number one factor that's going to create wealth and have some people be more successful than others? After this 50-year study, he concluded that the number one factor was developing long-time perspective. So the ability, in other words, to think a long ways into the future. We're not talking about 6 months, a year. We're talking 5 years, 10 years, developing that long-term plan. And especially with corporations, global generational companies, they're looking at long-term plans that are going to go years into the future, decades, and it's going to be passed down wealth. Matter of fact, I heard a great story the other day that really echoed that. It was a gentleman, I forgot this company, but he was so in his decision, he was so confident in his decision that he knew that he was going to make a lot of money. So he went ahead and set up all these multi-generational plans. I think it might have been Walmart, by the way, that he set up all these multi-generational estate plans in place. That way, when he knew what his idea was and how successful he was going to be, these plans were in place, and it saved hundreds of millions of dollars in his tax and estate plans through developing that long-term plan. So that's the key, is to really think through your ideas, especially when it comes to money, relationships, business, and making sure you have that long-time perspective in place. And, the opposite is true, too. You look at the opposite. What is the opposite of long-term? It's these hopeless, drunks and addicts. They're looking for the next fix. They're looking for that next drink. So the opposite is true. The shorter vision you have, your life is going to reflect that. And it's a decision that you make on a daily basis to have that long time perspective or not. All right, we got a couple minutes left. William, let's give another tip. Let's fill some time here, William.
Oh, wow, you caught me on guard there. Okay, good. Well, put a promotional block on your credit report. The number is 888-567-8688. 888-567-8688. That would automatically take your name off the list of the credit reporting agencies, all three, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. You don't want them out there just arbitrarily selling your information to anybody, because they don't know who they're selling the information to if they sell it for the right dollar amount.
Right.
So that's where I get the term, the credit reporting agencies are the biggest perpetrator of identity theft, because they just sell your information to anybody. So get your name off that list. It's a free service. Everybody should do it. Everybody should have a promotion block on their credit report. 888-567-8688.
And they're cutting off that junk mail that comes to your mailbox, too.
Yeah.
So that's saving some trees as well for the environment.
There you go. Johnny like that.
Johnny
I
Miller.
do. I would just say, be aware of folks coming and selling you bulbs and tubes and saying, hey, these are LEDs. It's 15-year-old technology. The ballast still burn, still use the power. It's not our fifth or sixth generation lighting that can actually cut your energy cost by about 70%. So stay away from the bulbs, stay away from the tubes. That's a quick fix. If it lasts a week, if it lasts 2 months, it's great, but that's about all you can get.
Yeah. It's kind of like a car. You never want to buy that first model. You want to buy that second, third, fourth year model, because they're going to make all the improvements, the things that they didn't fully engineer and think through.
Right.
So that stands true in the LED lighting industry.
Does.
Very cool. All right. Hey, another great show. I want to thank all of our expert contributors. Stephanie Rosario, thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate you. Johnny Miller, Eagled,
Thank you.
Global Lighting, and William Crowley, the credit man, the credit magician in the house. Thanks so much for all that as well. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, carry it with you to and from your commute, hand it to that person that you see in need, and be a force for good in the community. Do something kind for one another. Lots of ways you can get involved. Donate blood, donate time, and just most likely just smile at one another and be happy out there. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.